Hey everybody, I thought I would do a video today as it's been a little while. I wanted to share with you a new hobby of mine, which I know is quite popular at the moment, but this little fella is my bullet journal. I've been doing this as a means of sort of helping with my mental health, because the reason I haven't been online a lot recently is because I haven't been doing very well. This time of the year, my mental health always goes downhill. So seasonal affective disorder is something that I suffer from. For those of you that don't know what that is, it is depression that is affected by the time of year and the light, particularly for me. The darker the day, the less good I feel. And it kind of is a continual thing for me throughout kind of October, November, December, sort of January, February as well. So not a lot of fun, particularly not when you have depression to start with anyway, but enough moaning because you don't need to know about that. So the reason that I started bullet journaling was to, one, help me organise my brain, because I am useless. I forget everything unless I write it down. So journals are great for me. But also it's a place for me to kind of be creative, do something a bit different, and it really helps when I'm having a bad day. I can actually concentrate on this, and I can't concentrate on many things. So yay for bullet journaling. So to show you on the front, funnily enough, I have a sticker that says "Be Happy." My friend Kitty Pink Stars made this sticker. She also does lots of really awesome crafts. She makes rainbow blankets. She does all kinds of funky drawings and cards and crochet, and she's just amazing. Kitty, if you're listening, you're awesome, and your dog's awesome too. She's got a little dog called Tiny, who's just really cute. So I wanted to show you my bullet journal, which is going to be a bit tricky since I'm having to balance my camera with my hand because it's not behaving. So it's quite simple. All I use is just a general lined notebook. You can see my index page there, just so I know where everything is. I don't actually recommend this type of notebook because the pens go through the page and often end up on the other side, which is really frustrating. There are loads of different types of journals out there. You can just use any journal, and since this was the first one I've ever done, I didn't want to get a big fancy notebook in case I messed it up. So I just bought a bog standard notebook, but next time I will definitely be getting one with thicker pages so that the pens don't leak through. So all I do, I start every month a bit like this. This is from January. And I put, obviously, the name of the month at the top, the days down the side, so what date it is and what day, my work shifts, and then I pop in colour, because I like colours, different events that I've got going on, so I can see at a glance the whole month, what I've got going on, what's happening when, what I need to do. Now, I did start at the beginning doing task lists each month as well, so like, you know, jobs that had to get done that month, but I don't find them all that helpful. I'm a bit rubbish at writing them down, and I never fill them in, so I don't use them anymore, but that was something that I started with. And they look like, hang on, book is not complying, 1 second. Trying to do a bullet journal. I should be able to do one of them flip through ones, but I don't know how you do that. You need to do like time motion stuff, and no idea. So task lists looked a little bit like this, really boring, not pretty or doodled around at all, but that's not for me. So I decided to get rid of that. Sorry, just moving slightly. Camera, behave yourself. There we are. You can see my bullet journal now. So, because this is actually balanced on my sofa. Yes, because I have nowhere else to put it. So then I decided that I was going to set some goals for 2017. I have achieved some of these and not others. They're kind of more physical things I haven't been able to do because, as some of you know, I'm currently injured. I have big problems with my discs in my back and my neck, which means I'm not allowed to do things like running, which is really annoying. So this was my goals page. We had on it the 3 Peaks Challenge, which I was hoping to do this year. I have not done that this year. That's one for next year. I've got some running medals on here for sort of different distance races. Again, not done any running this year, really. I did one race in January. That's literally the only race I've been able to do this year, which sucks, and which is really annoying, but we'll get back to it when we feel better. I've obviously got in the top corner that I want to travel more, I want to read more, spend more time with friends is over here, and then I kind of forgot about this page and haven't added to it. So I might pop some more things in just for November and December. I do have some goals and some things I want to do, so we might try and finish that page off, but I think it's quite a nice idea. I liked the idea of doing goals. I'm actually thinking of doing just like a goal page for November and a goal page for December separately to this, just so it's a bit more, you know, month orientated, I guess. I've also got in here my books list. I can't draw, so this isn't all that great. But this is my list of books. So the coloured in ones are the ones that I've read. The white ones are the ones that I haven't read yet. This is like just fiction, and this is like self-help and guided reading. I've got into self-help books this year just to try and, you know, find some ways through things. Hand. I'm not having a lot of luck with this camera today, guys. Sorry. First attempt at bullet journaling on film, not going so great. So then I did a couple of other pages. I've tried to do like big meal planners, but I don't get on with them. I do little ones every month now, or every week instead. So I'll show you that. And again, I had pages like favourites pages, where I just like do little doodles. But again, I've kind of gone off these. I'm not sure they look very neat or tidy. So I'm not sure. I might change that up a bit and see what I can do with it. Then I really like one of my other pages in here. I've got a mood tracker. And now obviously being someone who has mental health issues, I'm not showing you this close up. But from a distance, this is what my mood tracker looks like. And I don't know if you can see the corner of the page, but it's got washi tape on it so that I can find this page because I use it every day. I'm going to put this camera back down again. Hang on. Sorry. Wobbly camera. There we are. It's better. So I use this page every day. I record my moods just to see if there's any patterns or like if I can identify any triggers, anything like that. But I've used the washi tape along the side so that I can find the page easily because it was done back in January, this particular page, and I've used it, you know, throughout the year, so it's nice to be able to find it. And then I've just got, that's boring, I've got recipe ideas. They're not pretty. I think when I started this, the sort of the drawing side of it wasn't going so well, so I'm going to skip ahead to November because there was a big whole chunk of time when I didn't do anything. So I've started doing cover pages. This is actually my favourite page in my entire journal. I love this. I'm really pleased with how this came out. So this is my facing page for November. I'm going to be doing facing pages for every month because it just gives me an excuse to draw, really. I think this came out really well. It's pen and pencil, and obviously the writing, is fountain pen. It's just a regular fountain pen. It's not a fancy calligraphy one. I've just kind of tried to calligraphy it a little bit. Is calligraphy a word? I'm not sure. So that's my facing page for November. And then I've got, and you can't see this very well because the colours kind of run in, but this is my bucket list for November. So things I want to do this month. On here I've got things like jump in a pile of leaves, because I love the leaves in winter. I've got go for a walk on the beach. I've got, you know, drink cranberry tea because I don't drink caffeine. So cranberry tea under the stars with blankets with my boyfriend. Go and spend some time in a cabin in the logs. Blech. Log cabin in the woods. There we are. I will get there eventually. That one's going to be a little bit probably more like December because I'm running out of November. But there's lots of sort of different bits on here. Some of it I've done, some of it I haven't yet. So that's been quite fun. And then I've started doing, I'm going to have to show you this double. This is my weekly spread. Now these are new. I've only started doing these the last couple of weeks. So it's just got calendar at the top. We've got kind of like a reminders box down here. And the weather, which I've done some of the days, not all of them. This is a little quote. I don't know if you can see that because it's kind of backwards, but it says, breathe in courage and breathe out fear, which is from Aslan from Narnia. If you're not familiar with Narnia books, they're by C.S. Lewis. Go and read them. They're amazing. I grew up with them and I love them. But that's so this is kind of like an Aslan inspired week. So we've got Aslan down here in the bottom. He is a lion. And then there's just like my week schedule and what I've been up to, and I've got a meal planner in there as well. Now, the meal plans are great in theory, but I never stick to them. But it gives me an idea of stuff to cook for the week, so I find that quite helpful. Then I've got a craft projects page. Now, some of you will know I'm an avid crochet person, and I also really like cross-stitch. So I'm trying to keep hold of all the different projects that I want to do. And that's my craft project page, just so I know what I've got to do, what I'm working on. And then another new one. This is my habit tracker. So this is just the days of the month along. I need to reshape this because it's really messy. And then things I need to do each day. So I've got things like, I'm doing a 30 days to healthy living program at the moment, which means no caffeine and no alcohol. So I've been tracking those, whether I've been out for a walk or not, whether I like how my water intake has been, whether I've played with the guinea pigs, because that's something I need to do every day to get them used to being handled and cuddled and give them fuss and attention. And when I'm low, I'm really rubbish at remembering to do it. So that's why that's on there. I've also got like, I can't do a lot of exercise at the moment, but I'm doing just like star jumps every day just to do something. So I've been tracking that, which has been going well. Then I've got another weekly layout. This one's a bit very similar. So you've still got the calendar, the reminders, the meal planner. This is Kubo, the monkey from Kubo and the Two Strings. It's a film I watched this week. I love that movie. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it. And then these are supposed to be paper origami birds, but they look rubbish because I can't draw paper origami birds. But we learn. So it's just like my way of keeping hold of things and what I'm doing. And then the last page that I've got so far, and this is another one I'm really pleased with. This is just a little quote that I saw. So it says, because again, I know it looks funny this way around. It says, strive for progress, not perfection. And that's just, for me at the moment, is really relevant. So that's the last page I've got in my bullet journal at the moment. I am planning to do some sleep trackers, some other bits and pieces. I want to do like a goals and task list for each month, but I want to set it up differently to how I had it before. And just keeping hold of things, and also to do some sort of like more creative pages. I want to do a gratitude page as well, just for like one thing that I'm grateful for every day, because it will help with the mood. So I really love bullet journaling, and I think the only things you really need are a notebook, preferably one with slightly thicker pages than the one I've currently got. I do recommend thick pages or high quality paper. If you can get a notebook that's got either like graph paper, so like squares or dots on it, that's going to help you with the sort of more drawing aspect of it. But they tend to be the more expensive notebooks. And if it's the first time you've done it, or you just want to try it, then just go for a book standard notebook to start off with. And then, you know, if you get on with it and you really enjoy it, then you can get a more groovy notebook later. And then I've got 2 packs of pens. These are called Scribblicious. They came from The Works, which is a shop in the UK for any American viewers. These were not expensive. I think they cost me about £4 for these. So I love these. They're great for fine lining. They're great for coloured writing. I also have this set, which are by Stabilo, which my mum gave me because she didn't get on with them. So I'm very lucky to have these, because these are slightly more expensive and I really like them. They are better quality. They write better. I would also recommend, if you can get any, like brush pens or like, yeah, art pens, just so that you've got something slightly thicker to like colour in or highlight, anything like that. But you can certainly start with just 1 pack of fine tip coloured pens. That's all you need. And a black pen. Make sure you've got a black pen. The other things I've started getting into recently are washi tape. You can get this from Aldi's, people. You do not have to go to an expensive craft shop to buy it. As you can see, this was not expensive. It was £1.29, and there are, what, 5 different designs? So I've got a couple of little Christmassy ones. So there's a red one, and I got the green one as well, because I think they're really cute. I've also got a couple of others. So I've got a purple sparkly one, which is a bit thinner. I've got a purple zigzaggy one, which again, these are really thin. I would actually like these better if they were wider, because when you're trying to do page edges, they're a pain. And then I've got just some sellotapes, which I haven't used in my bullet journal yet, but they're there for, that's what I bought them for originally. So I had a Love Heart one for February. There's one with kind of like strange looking gazelle / giraffe / I'm not quite sure. And then there's the bows one at the bottom. So that is literally all the kit that I use. Now you can find loads of like printable stuff on places like Pinterest or various blogs. There are loads of people that bullet journal. There are loads of ideas out there, but it's just something I wanted to share with you because I think it's pretty awesome. It's a fun way to list things, keep hold of things, know where stuff is, and just track what you're doing. And also it's a great place for trying out sort of different design ideas, little doodles, being a bit creative, and it really helps me with my mental health, and hopefully by sharing it, it might help someone else. So I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. That would be great. And it'd be lovely if you wanted to subscribe. I would love to see you here. Thanks so much for listening. Bye for now.